Panavish Rav said this over. It's brought down in his form. Panavish said this over when he learned in Radin. He learned in Radin together with Rabbi Chanan Basim and Zatzal. He said they were learning. I don't know if this was Altzbacher or not. I don't know the timeline. He says one time they were learning and they needed to learn. They needed to look up something in a certain sefer. They didn't have the sefer. They figured for sure the Chafetz Chaim has a sefer. How do they know the Chafetz Chaim has a sefer? Because in sefer, in Mishnah Berurah, it quotes the sefer many, many times. So he must have had the sefer, because otherwise where would he know what it says in order to quote for it? So they went to the Chafetz Chaim and they asked him if he has the sefer. He says no. He saw that they're very puzzled. So he asked them, what's this? So they said, because the Rebbe quotes it in Mishnah Berurah. The Rebbe doesn't own a copy. He said, no, when I was writing Mishnah Berurah, all of the svarim that I needed, I borrowed from somebody. And then when I was done writing Mishnah Berurah, I got what I needed, I gave it back. He saw that they were very, very confused. Wow. Rebbe doesn't have the svarim? He says, no, listen to the Lashon. He says, I am mitztayer, not on the svarim that I don't have. I have pain from the svarim that I do have. Chafetz Chaim said, I have pain. What pains me is not the svarim I don't have. What pains me is the svarim I do have. You imagine that? Chafetz Chaim says, the svarim I have cause me tsar, not the svarim I don't have. So they asked him, what does Rebbe mean by that? What could be wrong with having svarim? So the Chafetz Chaim, very simple. He says, to have a sefer means you have to have money to purchase a sefer. Where would you have money to purchase a sefer from? The Torah says you had to work to earn the money to be able to purchase the sefer. Will you or won't you learn from it? How much will you learn from it? Who knows? But this I can tell you, you spent a lot of time working to be able to purchase a sefer. All of that time could have been used to collect svarim in your cup, in your head. You're giving away olam haba in order for the ability to perhaps maybe get a sefer that could perhaps give you more olam haba. He says, the svarim I have, which all took me time to earn the money, those are the ones I have problems with. The ones I don't have, no problem. Whatever I have in my head, I have in my head. Chafetz Chaim said, I want to tell you, this is pshat in the Gemara in Gittin. Gemara in Gittin says, when Rish Lakish was nifter, he left over for his Yershim. The great Rish Lakish, this was the man who was a bandit. A bandit means he was stealing, he was collecting, he was earning a lot. He had a lot of olam hazeh at his fingertips. When Rish Lakish was nifter, you know what he left over for his Yershim? He left over a kav of charkaim, which is a type of a spice. The ganze Yerusha from Rish Lakish was a kav of charkaim. Now you might think Rish Lakish looked and said, well done. Psh, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, I did well. No, he didn't say that. You know what he said? TorahAnytime says the Gemara, V'ozvu la'acherim chelam. There's a pasuk in Tehillim, V'ozvu, and they leave over for others chelam, their strength. What do you mean? Why are you feeling bad? You left over for others your strength? A little bit of spice? This is your ganze Yerusha and you're feeling bad that you left it over for your kids? What does that mean? So the Chafetz Chaim, the pshat is pashat. Reish Lakish valued every second. He valued every minute. He valued every second. Every second was an opportunity to go get more. If he had a kav of spice that ended up not getting used, that meant that the time he spent earning the money to buy that thing of spice didn't earn him the olam haba that he could have had. Yeah, that's something to cry over when you're Reish Lakish.